Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Million Dollar Media. I am your host, Max Keller Halls, and with me today we have.
Terrell Franklin.
And today we've made it. The movie I'm just going to say I have been waiting for this entire year, Superman. We're
Yes.
finally here. Yeah. This is officially the first thing from the James Gunn DCU, as long as you don't count Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, the Suicide Squad. This is the first official DCU project. It's kind of hard because I feel like the trailers don't really tell you what the plot is.
hmm
So I think we'll just say this is a traditional Superman Lex Luthor story that has a lot of different elements thrown in there.
Oh yeah.
But I think I'm just gonna cut to the chase here and just say I really love this movie. What about you, Trey?
Yeah, I knew going into this that like this might be the first time that I truly enjoyed Superman as a character, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it did exactly that. I was speechless the first time I came out of the theater and
Mm-hmm.
watched it. It just felt refreshing. It felt less of like trying to use intellectual property and create a story out of it, and it felt like an adaptation of the comic world.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of reviews online of people saying this is the most comic booky movie you've ever seen. No, this
Yeah.
movie really does feel like from page to screen. It's not based off any particular stories. There's elements from various different Superman comics that I highly
hmm
recommend you read, but no, like this film feels like a comic book in that even the opening sequence feels like a comic book opening where it's just random shots of the Arctic with text and it feels like a comic book.
It skips the like the 100,000th time you've heard the origin story of this super popular hero.
Mm-hmm.
That it does a really great job of just like here we are, like we're here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And another thing I love about this movie is like there's like a huge thing that is like a character and story changing element that is just not shown in this movie. It's just
hmm
referred to constantly throughout this movie. And I could see people not liking that because you're like, I wanted to see that. I'm not like definitely an instance of show don't tell. But what I think the film shows instead of showing that is the repercussions and how it affects the story at hand and the one that
Right.
clearly James Gunn wanted to tell. It feels like there was an issue missing. This is like issue 2 and 3, but we need issue 1 still.
Right.
But honestly, like that's comics sometimes. You just pick up a comic and you're just like, oh shit, this is issue 7 in an ongoing series.
Yeah, I kind of liken comic books to like American mythology. Like if you try to pick up like one of like the long like Greek epics, it's going to reference
Oh.
all these other Greek epics that you may or may not know about, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe you've heard about it. Especially like the beginning of the Odyssey, which like that movie is going
Mm-hmm.
to come out very soon. But
Mm-hmm.
like the beginning of the Odyssey kind of like does the text bubble things to where it's just like this happened with this war and with these people and like these are the
Mm-hmm.
characters that you're going to be following, but like you kind of know that there's a lot of story baked into that, and we're not trying to focus on all of that. This is the story that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. For a film that has so much writing on it, like this is I was joking in the beginning, but this is really like the beginning of like what they're wanting to do with the DCU.
hmm
This film takes some risks and it's fun and it makes me more excited to see what they're gonna do in the future. There's so much lore that like is hinted at and like in the side stories and all the characters that show up in this movie, but at its core it focuses on what's important to tell this story. And I think one of the things that helps that is that the main character in this movie, Superman, played by David Cornsweet, is probably my favorite Superman.
yeah he yeah it's really like kind of like what, fifth time's the charm, sixth time's the charm. Like
Yeah.
he just put a lot of effort into it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of tell that like not only like the direction kind of bringing him to this point to make a very good portrayal of Superman, but just the the just actual understanding of the character fundamentally, and just kind of the source material outside of just the film world
Mm-hmm.
kind of informed his way of being Superman.
It's interesting because we did the retrospectives, and at the end of this, the Henry Cavill one, we were talking about how we've yet to see like a Superman that's both comic accurate and true to Superman.
Right.
This is it. I feel
Yeah.
like this is like that beautiful in between of what Snyder was doing with like the epic nature things brought into it that are, from the comics, whereas this is Christopher Reeve's heart and passion and kindness all in this one movie. And it doesn't feel like a mix of those two. It feels unique in its own. It just has elements from both those previous Supermen. And I don't know, I think what I love is that, like, unlike most Supermen, David Corenswet just felt so relatable as Superman.
Yeah.
Which is really tough to do, because that he could be written like a caricature of a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, let's just say Metro Man. It's like that traditional superhero, like, stereotype.
Yeah.
But no, he, like, brings so many layers into this character of, like, he just wants to do the right thing, but just the world around him is just all just telling him, like, well, you can't do that, because there's this, and there's this. But what I appreciate is, like, he's not an idiot in that he's like, oh, no, what I do is right, and, like, I'm just going to go blindly into this. No, he understands the repercussions of his actions, and that what he did may not have, like, been bureaucratically right.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, he sticks to his guns and says, no, this is right.
Superman as a whole is very much a character that's just like nature versus nurture. And
Yes.
I think this film in particular kind of mastered the nuance of that.
Yes.
Of where you can kind of imply like he's been in constant battle with like his nature and just how much he can be perceived as above everyone else on Earth, and then just kind of just the way that he was raised and the way that like his worldview was up until a certain point, that like he still kind of battled with just like what am I doing this for? Why am I doing it? But he kind of still stays with that notion of like, no, this is the right thing, even if people disagree with it at the moment. It's gonna have bigger benefits than the consequence.
I just appreciate how this film nailed this character finally.
Mm-hmm.
If I had one little complaint, is that I wish we got to see more of the persona Clark Kent.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. Yes.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because I wrote in my notes here. It's kind of like my similar complaint to the Batman, and how in that film we didn't get the persona Bruce Wayne, and they instead focused on Batman and Bruce Wayne when he's behind the scenes in the Batcave. In this movie, we get to see Superman and then Clark Kent around people who already know who he is.
Right.
Like, we get one scene in this film where we see the Daily Planet Clark Kent, and it's really good. He does a really good job, and you believe that, like, oh no, people would not tell these two are the same person. Just the mannerisms and stuff. I just wish we had more of that. I think going forward, what they can do is, instead of having Superman appear in things, they could just have Clark Kent as the reporter and journalist show up in things. And I think that would be more fun. And just, like, instead of like, oh, it's a Superman cameo, it's a Clark Kent cameo. Like, I don't know. I think that'd be really fun to do that angle of it, instead of like, oh, Superman just shows up and saves the day.
Right.
But yeah,
I do love the portrayal of his parents though. Like this.
Oh,
like
yeah.
For me, that is like I guess I got so used to them kind of just being more symbolic when interacted with, rather than just like feeling like, oh, these two are like farm parents from Kansas. Like that's what I got. And then like them being older, and like the first introduction of them.
Oh yeah.
Like on the phone and just kind of like talking real loud to the phone, and then like the dad being super emotional and super proud of him. Like I think that portrayal of them was just so I actually really liked that.
I loved it. Doing that by making the Kents so normal and just like farm people, it helps to really understand where Superman's coming from.
Yeah.
And that the reason why he's so nice is because he just has these really nice parents who just lead with their heart. They're just simple folk. They see something that's wrong, they help the person out. And you can totally see why these people would like see an alien spaceship and be like, the baby.
Right.
And I buy it. Like, Clark would be like this. And yeah, there's a scene with him and Pa Kent that got me. Like, that was
a really great scene.
That was so good. And we'll get more into, like, when we do spoilers about this movie, about like a lot of the context by what Clark and Superman is going through in this movie. But I kind of want to go into like some of the other characters in this movie. Like, I won't say this is my favorite interpretation of Lois Lane, only because I think Margot Kidder is really good, but she's like a really close second. Like, I love this like go for it like punk rock There's that moment where like she fills like her cup of coffee with just half sugar.
Honestly, I would argue this might be my favorite version of Lois, and I think I knew that going in. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a very good update of Lois, especially for
Oh yeah.
like a present day Lois. I think this is
Yeah.
exactly what she would be like.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's finally kind of got her out of just like
Damsel in distress.
yeah, it's to me, and this is a funny like way of how I view it. To me, Lois for a while, and I think Man of Steel was guilty of this, but I don't think Man of Steel did this first.
Mm-hmm.
But for a while, like Lois was just like a reason for Superman to do a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
She was less of a character and more of just like a motif in a story. That's what they did with like Prim Everdeen in the Hunger Games. Like she's not really a character. She's just a reason for our main character to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we finally got away from that again. I
Oh,
think it hasn't been like that for a while.
I agree. What I like about this Lois is that like unlike in like BVS, like they have Lois's like side plot where she's trying to figure out like where this bullet came from.
Right.
And you ultimately kind of know that like that's all Lex Luthor and like what are we doing here?
Right.
This time it actually makes sense of and it's beneficial to the overall story of what she is doing.
Yeah.
I won't say what she's doing. We'll get more into like spoilers and stuff, but like she has a point to be there, and you understand why she's doing the things that she's doing. And what I love is like towards the end of the film, like you can kind of read it as like she's ultimately the one that saves the day.
I want to get deeper into that.
Yeah.
I want to avoid it because we're not at the spoilers
We're
yet.
not
But
spoilers yet. I have a question real quick. What did you think about their relationship?
I like that we're in it. It's to where it's like it's not the beginning of Lois and Clark, and it's not like the deeper relationship that we usually get from
Yeah.
post like Injustice. You know,
Yeah,
like
it's not like they're engaged or she's
Yeah.
pregnant. Like this is like they say in the movie, and it's not really that big of a spoiler. This is like month 3.
actually month 3 makes it really good because it's just like they're now just kind of like filtering out of the honeymoon stage.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And I love I
Yeah.
just kind of love that dynamic because I don't think we even see that in a lot of media. Like,
No.
what does the stage look like, especially for a superhero?
like they're still like the first scene that we see them is it's a passionate kiss.
Yeah,
Like they are like, but what I love about the relationship is that like they do get into arguments. But what I appreciate
Yeah.
about this movie is that they kind of show that as that's okay, as
Mm-hmm.
because they're not coming at it from like a place to hurt the other person,
yeah,
but they are getting hurt by what they're saying. They can mend those wounds of what they were saying, and they can come back. And I don't know, like again, never been in a relationship, but like I can understand like yeah, that happens. Like you have an argument, you cool off, you come back, you're better again. And I appreciate like that we're allowing that in movies nowadays to actually show these characters. And again, just goes to overall show like how human and relatable Clark is in this movie.
oh yeah. It's a very difficult thing to write for relationships, and I actually think Rick Riordan is very big on like making like especially romantic relationships not always perfect in that way. And I think James Gunn did a very good job in also trying to do that in this movie to where it's just like again it's a very specific stage for like being 3 months in with Lois and Clark that makes this a little complicated. They're probably getting into their first genuine like disagreements about like
Why they're
about
doing.
who they are and what they're going to be in the future, and that's kind of a stage that like a lot of people aren't really prepared for because we've like over romanticized relationships in media.
These two characters are the only ones you can really do that at this point with, because like
Yeah,
the thing like you can't do this with like Spider-Man, at least not yet. The thing about him is he's always trying to get a girlfriend and like trying to find love. Like it's not. I mean, that's not his overall goal. But what I mean is like it's different. Whereas like these two characters, they've had long periods of time in the comics where they're together. So people are just known to be like these two characters are together. And by allowing this movie to actually show that relationship, yeah, it's just it makes it unique and feel different. And
Yeah.
this movie is with a character that's been done tons of times. Like there's still new things to explore. I kind of going a little bit more into like some of the side characters. I just want to mention like everybody in the Daily Planet. I love it. I love it. Like I wish there was more, but I understand
Yeah.
why there's not. But like every single person in that office just feels like a character that has their own story going on.
Yeah.
Like, I
And
love Steve Lombard. I mean, Cat Grant. Um, I think the two that really stole it for me were Perry White and my man Jimmy Olsen.
yeah, this you like there's no way you come out of that movie and not like be like this is like Jimmy is awesome. And I think
Yeah.
I don't and I kind of went to the rabbit hole of the rumors, but like there's like a very very small rumor that there's talks of like a TV show surrounding Jimmy, which
Yeah.
would be awesome
I
because
would
like
love
oh
that.
yeah. But
Again,
also the set of the Daily Planet is
yes.
incredible. I really really love that set.
I love how open it is. It feels like it's very different from all the other Daily Planets we've had where they're just kind of like offices.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like an open room where people can communicate and collaborate with their stories.
Right.
Like, Cat Grant will talk to Lois Lane, Steve Lombard will give Clark Kent shit, and Jimmy just being there hitting on the interns, or the interns
Yeah.
looking at him. It's not a negative in saying I wanted more. It's like, no, the film did it so well that I want to see more of these characters. And this is the first time, because I've never been a huge fan of Jimmy Olsen as a character. I respect the character because he is the guy who looks at Superman and was like, I want to be
Right.
friends with that guy. But I feel like none of the movies ever did him like any justice. I mean, hell, or the Snyderverse just fucking killed him. But in this movie, no, it's like I finally get it, like why this character's so fun, because like
Yeah.
he just gets into these really ridiculous situations. Everything around the Daily Planet was just so fun. Like, I love Perry in this movie too. Like, you don't get a lot of him, but like the moments he has, especially like towards the end of the film, you just get that character. Like, he is all about the truth and like what's the
Yeah.
story, how do we do this, and then he's just so on point. Like, you with me.
Right.
I love it. I thought that actor, I don't know his name, but he was in Thunderbolts as well. He's
Yeah.
such a good actor.
Yeah. It felt like the coworkers were coworkers
Yes.
in a sense.
Yeah.
Like it became a lot more believable that except for one part which I'll probably mention in spoilers as well.
Okay.
But it became a lot more believable that they have genuine interactions, that there's a group dynamic and there's individual dynamics between them.
More on the side characters, and then we'll get into one of the big things. What did you think of the Justice Gang?
Oh, okay. So this is one I think James Gunn is masterful at creating like found family groups.
Mm-hmm.
And the Justice Gang is just so like it is exactly that. It is like one Mr. Terrific stole the show.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
He really did. It's what this, and I know I told you this as soon as I came out of the theater. This is the coolest I've ever seen Mr. Terrific depicted.
Of course.
I like I like his concept as a character, but I would have never thought to adapt him into like a cinematic universe. I would have never thought to do that.
Really?
And like, yeah, he's in comic wise, he's supposed to be like one of the smartest people in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Like he has like all these cool gadgets, and it's like really cool that like, oh, if he existed in real life, that would be cool. I just didn't think that he would be such like a character that I would be like, I want to see more of him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I did not think that was going to happen, and that and just his like personality, like
Oh
his
my god.
like he's not like a snobby genius like a Rocket Raccoon would be. He's a little socially awkward, but at the same time, he's like the irritated genius. Like he's not mean to people. He's just like let me do my thing. Let me do my thing.
He's like, shut up.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. I don't need your help. Leave me alone. It's not really a spoiler, but there's something towards the end where he just like pushes a guy out of the way, and he's like, "I'm Mr. Terrific. God damn it."
Yeah, it's going to be hard to ever recast a Mr. Terrific after this.
Eddie Gathegi, like, this is a redemption for him for how royally screwed he got in X-Men First Class.
Right.
So it's nice to see him play this character, and like, I don't know, like he has a scene in this movie that is just so fun and creative.
Oh my god.
Like,
yeah.
And you
man.
like, you see a bit of it in the trailers, but you get to see like how his T-spheres work. It really gets to show like, oh no, he's still a threat.
Like this is a real life A tier superhero. Like that, like when I watching that, I know exactly what scene you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Watching that scene, I'm just like, oh, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's the one.
Yeah, he's great. And just to go back to more of the Justice game, Nathan Fillion steals it.
Hmm.
Like, it's funny because you get like Mr. Terrific, Nathan, and
Yeah,
Guy Gardner just
yeah.
stealing the show every time they're on screen. I won't say we get much into spoilers with the character, but like, I like he's a dick, but he's still on the good side.
Yeah,
Like, you can reason with him to a point to make him do good things, but he's gonna be an asshole all the way through it.
I think he's executed better than the animations of him.
Yeah.
Notoriously, Guy Gardner is like the Green Lantern that you don't want to show up if this is a Green Lantern problem.
Uh huh.
Outside of
Yeah.
outside of Kyle, what's his name? I don't like that one. Even like you like there's comic fans like, oh, he's the strongest Green Lantern and he's been the strongest Blue. I don't care. I hate him. I hate Kyle Rayner. Okay.
Okay. Well.
But Guy Gardner is, you don't want him to work with you, not because of like he's gonna screw you over, but you don't want to work with him because his personality is always going to clash with yours. And I
Yeah.
think they did that with the movie, but
Uh-huh.
he is also just it's hilarious. Like he's not a bumbling idiot, but he's
No.
like you're too smart to be this dumb, Guy Gardner.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was hilarious. I loved his dynamic with everybody.
Oh yeah, and then I mean I'll say this: the one I wish we had more of, but she does get a really fun scene, is Hawk Girl.
Hmm.
Especially that character. Like, there's so much you can do, but then again, that's a tough character to like be the side character in the movie. So I
Oh
understand.
yeah.
I understand why she's like not played up as much, but
Hmm.
she does have a scene, one scene that just steals the show. That is really
Yeah.
fun. But and especially being Isabella Merced, she's just perfect.
I Yeah, I've been an Isabella Merced fan since 100 Things to Do Before High School. That is way back in the Nickelodeon days. Like I was like she like was my childhood crush. But seeing her as Hawk Girl, if they did give her more screen time, I feel like she would feel more compelling. But I also think this is also a good role for her after kind of being screwed over by the Madam Web movie.
Oh, I totally forgot she was in that.
Yeah.
Review here.
I think it's also like an expanded character from like a lot of the roles that she does play. I think this is very much her humor, and she's gonna be a major part of Peacemaker. She's gonna continue being in this universe, and I think we're gonna get more of her character in the future.
I hope they do the Jon Stewart romance.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Jon Stewart casted already. Before we like go into spoilers, I just want to say they did it. They finally did it. Lex Luthor.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start.
Well, this is what I'll say. Nicholas Hoult. When I heard that he was casted, I was like, "That's perfect. He can really play a smarmy dick." But in this movie, he's a malicious, evil, petty asshole, and he is scary at some points in the
Oh
film.
yeah.
I remember hearing that James Gunn wanted to make Lex Luthor like feel like imposing. Like at some points, like I don't know if Superman's gonna make it out of this, and you get that. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't have any powers, like, but he's just super smart. But above all else, he is just so fucking petty
Yeah.
and envious. It makes the character feel like Lex Luthor finally.
Yeah, he corrects the like we don't have a Lex Luthor that's evil for the sake of being evil. We don't
Yes.
have a Lex Luthor that's just a snooty millennial. We have a Lex Luthor that has found something that he hates so much that it causes him to take action with any means necessary because and I think that's exactly what Lex should be. Like one, he's already like a multi-billionaire, so he's already been doing like illegal stuff in the background anyway. Like there's
Exactly.
but like when there's something that is just like, oh, like you want to act like you're all high and mighty and doing all this, like it just offends him so much in his own soul that he's just like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm going to like destroy you by any means necessary.
Or not just destroy you, ruin you.
Yeah.
Like everything that you stand for kind of shit. This dude is a hater beyond haters.
Yeah.
They finally get like the idea behind this character and the irony behind this character of like he's doing this because he doesn't want to feel like humanity is being surpassed by this alien that's not human. So
Right.
he's like, I'm doing this for the betterment of humanity. Yet he treats everyone around him like shit. His
Yeah.
girlfriend, his not even his coworkers, not even coworkers, his underlings. He treats
Right.
all of them like shit. The people he's apparently trying to save, he's like, fuck them. That's the thing I loved about this movie is that they finally get it. Like, Lex Luthor thinks he's the hero, but was like, I'm saving humanity by killing all these people.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's a very tough thing to do with Lex Luthor because it's like, do you want to make him the person that like is actually right and that oh yeah we should go after this alien, or do you make him just like again evil for the sake of being evil? And they finally nailed it. Like, there's scenes in this movie that I was shocked that they got away with him. It's in the trailer, but the pistol scene,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
holy shit, that I could not believe they'd got away with happening.
I didn't think it was gonna go through. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was horrible. Like, genuinely piece of shit moment from a character like this, and like you don't get villains like this anymore because they always try to make him give him a little bit of pathos, and try to make him relatable. With this one, no, they're like commit to it. I mean, I've been talking a lot. Do you have any more things to add about Lex Luthor?
No, not without spoilers.
Yeah. Okay. Trying to think what else I can say. A lot of my negatives are kind of in spoilers. I won't say this is like a perfect movie. I don't think most movies are perfect, but there are some things that I have clear like issues with, but they don't take away from the movie. They're more in spoilers, but I'll say this. What I do like about this film is that this is filmed in a very unique and different way. You've never seen a man fly like this.
Right.
There's a lot of interesting wide-angle lenses in this. The colors, everything like that. Just the camera movements and stuff like that. Like, there's fights. The fight scenes are actually really well done in this movie. They're not like Snyder level like craziness, but like they're James Gunn creativeness.
Right.
Like, they get crazy with what they do. Sometimes I think a little too crazy, but I'll save that for spoilers.
I know a big point of contention, especially with like just the superhero genre itself, is just that CG has been like very bad.
Yeah.
Both Marvel and DC, and I think the trend is kind of coming back. I think okay, we actually need to take our time on this, and because people are not going to be fooled by what they were fooled by 10 years ago.
They finished principal photography like a year ago. So
Yeah.
they've just had all this time to work on visual effects, and it shows.
Yeah.
Crypto never looked like a real dog. But
Right.
damn it, did he do things that reminded me of my own dog? I guess we could talk about Crypto real quick. Like, just a fun thing to add in this movie. He's not just there to be added in, he's actually has a meaningful role in this film.
James Gunn said in an interview that he loves animals and loves making animals like be a character. Even from Scooby Doo till now.
Right?
But it's harder when the animal doesn't have voice lines. But I think he does a really good job of like this is a character. This is not just like an accessory to a character.
Like, I don't know. It's sometimes you could get like, it's Crypto. He's Superman's loyal dog, and he'll always be there, and he's like a well-trained dog. And I like in this movie they flipped it up, and he's like, no, he's a little shit.
Yeah.
He's a bad dog, but a good boy.
Yeah. It's just like not just putting the Superman template on another Kryptonian. I think
Yes.
that's just smart.
That's smart. Yes. Which, I guess, with that point, we can go into spoilers now.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing about this movie that a lot of people are kind of like, well, maybe not the big thing, but a lot of things that most of the fans are talking about is how they changed Jor-El and Lara and Krypton.
Oh yeah.
What did you think about that?
I want to address Kryptonians have a language
Yeah.
that is like that makes it so much better. Like that's and I understand why you can't start off that way, especially on the first depiction of Superman.
Yeah.
But like when I saw the video message and they're speaking in the Kryptonian language, and I was like, oh, this movie's about to be insane. Like this is like kind of early into the movie.
Yeah.
And then like when we kind of see the reveal of like what the message is actually saying, and that it's probably not faked, and it's like double confirmed by like Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
This is where like this true dilemma of nature versus nurture in Superman comes up. It's just like,
Yeah.
I've been living a lie. Like I was sent here with the responsibility of power and to use it wisely, but no, I'm supposed to do the planetary
Colonization.
imperial thing. Yeah, I truly like that plot point. I feel like that was actually uncharacteristic of James Gunn to do, and I think it works.
I'll say this about the language thing. There are some depictions of Krypton in other media. Like, I know right off the bat that My Adventures with Superman, the Superman anime thing,
Mm-hmm.
That has Krypton has one more of a conquering race, and two they have their own language. But in this film, what I like is that yeah, they're speaking a different language, and when it's revealed what the second half of the message is, the first person you hear it from is Lex Luthor saying this. You immediately are like, it's fake, it's AI
Right.
or something. And when Mr. Terrific confirms it, you're like, oh shit, it might actually be real. What I love is that they never really go back to what they say in the message. So it leaves it
Mm-hmm.
up to your interpretation of like, okay, are they colonizing conquerors?
Right.
Or were they just, because this is what I like to think. What they're saying is like, aside from the ruling part, the one thing, like the whole like harem and the wives thing, which
Yeah.
is crazy for a family film to say.
It's hilarious.
But it's also like, yeah, that's exactly what the internet, and especially when Lex Luthor says like his secret harem. I'm like, yeah. But when they say like have many wives and stuff like that, I'm like, well, here's what I say: their culture and their race is about to die. So to them, I would imagine being like, hey, have many wives, have many children, have Krypton live again. To them, I can see it as like, no, our race is about to die. We need to like continue this on more.
Oh yeah.
But because it's in a different language and they're interpreting it, they're just reading it and they're like, oh shit. So it could be like they had good intentions with like, hey, we need our race to continue and stuff like that, but it's still bad. I don't know. It's like you can read into it of like, what were they saying here? And like, I'd be interested to see them explore that more, especially because now this kind of sets up like why General Zod is a thing. Like, oh
Right.
yeah, if they had a general like this, that would be their culture.
Yeah.
Or hell, an AI like Brainiac, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you can really explore that in such interesting ways. But yeah, the whole nature versus nurture aspect of it, where it really puts Superman in this weird place of like, one, not only did he not know about this, he found out when everybody else found out, so he has no time to process this.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I've seen some people compare this to like what James Gunn went through.
Hmm.
So, you know about what happened with James Gunn with him getting canceled.
Yeah.
So if you read this movie as like someone getting canceled, finding their family, and then coming back,
Yeah.
you could really read it as James Gunn like experience throughout all that. And like I think that's just really interesting. Like I mean, there's a lot of interesting parallels that this movie gets into, which we'll talk about. But the Krypton stuff was really interesting to play with. It helps with Superman's character in this movie. Of like by the end of the movie, like he's not doing good because his parents told him to. He's doing good because he just wants to.
Right.
Like his adopted parents, they didn't shape him; they just guided him.
Yeah.
I just love that story and just how they and on him. I mean, the line that really makes this film, like the thesis line for this film, like being kind is punk rock.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's such like a old school like movie thing to do. That's to kind of give you the like lesson of the movie. I think we've been so obsessed with immersion that we forget that like especially long forms of media, like you're supposed to walk away with something to have conversation with. And I think that kind of like thesis of the movie is exactly that.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because like with that thesis of just like literally the film is just telling people to be kind and do good things.
Yeah.
And with everything going on around this movie, especially when it comes to like the Fox News stuff, like it's interesting because like the thing that really blew up around this film is like my parents watch Fox News. I don't like it, but I'll sometimes listen to what they have to say, and especially when they're about to talk about Superman, I was like, oh god, here we go. And then when I heard it, I could not imagine a dumber piece of journalism or TV in my life,
Yeah.
and the most offensive thing I could ever think of. And
It's
watching this movie, it's fun to see how this film handles like media talk shows like that,
yeah.
and just like discourse and media, and just how it can be manipulated against someone for just doing the right thing.
Hmm.
I mean, we're in spoilers, so the monkey bots.
That has been so on Instagram.
Yes.
It has been one of the funniest things because yes, I'm targeting you Snyder fans.
Yep.
Every time, like, people make just a super uneducated take about the movie, somebody just puts up a
Yeah.
gif of a monkey on a typewriter,
Yes.
it cracks me up every time. I'm like, James Gunn gave us fuel to just have
Yeah.
an easy rage bait for anybody who just wants to like say something that's not even true about the movie.
It is so fun. I remember, like when I saw that the first time, and like he's just introducing all these like really crazy comic book stuff, like in this
Right.
in this pocket dimension. Like especially when it came to that moment, I was like, that sums up the internet perfectly. It's just people online programmed to just do one thing and just spew out hate. Perfect. And
Right.
you could not do that bit. Any like in the Snyderverse couldn't do that. In the
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve version could not do that. That is such a perfect thing for now.
It was so funny. This is great. Like when I first saw somebody just put up the gif of like a
Yes.
monkey on a typewriter, I'm like, oh, people can't even argue about this anymore. We can just
No,
put that up and it's over.
it's over. I love it so much.
That's wonderful.
But yeah, like I hate to bring it down to this heavy topic, but and the thing that like they don't show initially is like before the events of this movie, Superman went into a foreign nation. I think it was either Bravia or Jarhanpur or both, like the border of them,
Yeah.
and he stopped Bravia from invading Jarhanpur. Jarhanpur being this nation that's a little bit more Middle Eastern inspired and deserty and stuff, whereas like Bravia has been more high tech and is funded by Lex Luthor and
Right.
various other things. And like Superman stopped it, and so throughout this movie, it's been like this political tension of like this other country invading another country, and yeah, like upon like a like I saw this movie twice, or I liked it the first time, I loved it the second time, but upon the second time, I was like, oh yeah, you can really see where people are like, oh yeah, I could see what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Now, again, people will bring up this movie was written before October 7th, 2023. I get that. However, this film was made during, meaning they
Right.
casted people, they had everybody like ready to go, and things were going on. So at that point, like, and things changed when you're making a movie too.
Right.
And to be fair, this movie doesn't like make it those real world things. This is its own fictionalized conflict that's just very true to life in that this happens. And it's not even saying anything too profound like this country is bad and this country is the good people. Like, like I think in the moment when like him and Lois are having an argument, like Lois brings up that Jarhanpur had a very vicious dictator at one point and had bad leadership, and he's just like, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. And like the whole point of this movie is just saying like, oh yeah, like countries invading other countries and killing people and children is wrong. And on that basic principle, that is what this film is trying to say. Like fuck all like the politics and the geopolitical nature of it. Killing children and genocide is wrong. It's just a universal truth.
And it's really funny. And I want to call it willful ignorance a lot of the time because comic books have always done this.
Yes.
They've always done this. They've always done this. I hate to bring up this dude because I don't think like I just think that he's so clouded by his own judgment, thinking that he's so smart that he actually sounds dumb when he's evaluating. But like back when Ben Shapiro reviewed the trailer of this movie, and talking about that, like David Cornsweet talking about like how he views Superman as a character and just willfully misunderstanding what David was actually saying about the character and actually was in agreement with Ben Shapiro somehow, some way. Shapiro wanted to like talk about like how like Superman is getting too woke by being anti-American, which has never been the case, and then proceeds to mislabel the representation of Superman by the representation of Captain America punching Hitler in the face, which is very funny because when that comic came out, that was super woke at the time because America did not know how they wanted to view Nazi Germany at the time.
Yes.
An invading country, by the way.
Yes.
But comic books have always been like very, very, very not only sensitive but very aware of what's happening in the real world, and it's always been a commentary of what's been happening in the world, and very clear about how they view that conflict. And it's really funny about like, oh yeah, you're taking the parallels of like October 7th and everything. I don't even call it a coincidence. I think it's very intentional to have a lot of superheroes are Jewish created characters.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
very intentional by having certain casting and certain heroes represent this situation. And if you just kind of just kind of open your eyes a little bit, you realize that it's always been the case. And even if you disagree with what case it's making, you at least see that there's still an intellectual dialogue to be had about it.
To one up you about like the Jewish creator thing, like the reason why Superman was created is because at the time, like Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel, they came to America escaping Nazi Germany, like their home was
Right.
destroyed, and that was the alien element of Superman. But what's really interesting is that during that time too, things were really anti-Semitic.
Right.
So they didn't even feel like they belonged in America. So that's why they created
Right.
Superman as this guy who was who believed in these American values, who was an alien. And again, he was up for like workers' rights and standing up to like rich men, and like I mean, his arch nemesis has always been a fucking billionaire.
Yes. Like it's to me, I think somebody put it online very, very smart way. It's just like some people expected Superman just to be a nice Homelander.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
And it's like, first of all, Homelander was created by a British comic book maker because they hated how Americans have kind of hijacked their flawed identity into some of the superheroes. And this is coming into the era where it's just like, oh, it's more about like how powerful they are and how much they can like abuse people under them rather than like what heroes should stand for, and it's all a facade. That is literally why Homelander is there, and that's why the boys are like, oh, we're the ragtag group and we're trying to usurp Vought. Superman has not been Homelander. Homelander is literally supposed to be, this is what you're getting wrong about it. And so this kind of like whole thing about like trying to like get Superman type characters to be gritty and mean and just like they've always been about XYZ when they really haven't. It's just like
abuse of
such
power.
a hijacking. Yeah.
This is a movie we needed in this time. Just someone to just tell us, not even subtly, just say, be nice. I've always made fun about the r/nice guy thing. Not like fake nice. And that's what I was worried that they were going to do in this movie, is like make Superman like feel like too much of like the nice guy. But no, he stands up for what he believes in. Like the r/nice guy will just back down to whatever the other person says, and it's like they're people pleaser. Superman is not a people pleaser. He wants to help people, but he's not going to like back down on his values.
I'll kind of take it a step further. I see Superman as the difference between nice and kind. Like, there's people who have the tendency to be nice but aren't really kind. Superman is really kind, and he is still nice to people. Like, kindness is like a very intentional thing, and we see when he's fighting the kaiju that like he saves a squirrel from getting crushed.
Yeah.
That's kindness. That's the attention to detail. That's making sure that everything is all right. It's what we're missing from Snyder's Superman, because like it would just be like destruction, and you like, yeah, that kind of caused a conflict with Batman versus Superman, but like honestly, the superhero trope should be at a certain level. Figure out, are you going to defeat me or save these people? That's usually like I call that the Batman and Joker dilemma. And I think that like Superman has lost that dilemma because we're trying to focus on how strong he is. Like, oh, what a great feat, he saved the day. But all these buildings got destroyed and look how many people died. Rather than like he's fighting a kaiju, and of course like the Justice Gang comes up and helps a little bit. But even then, he wanted to like defeat the kaiju and like donate it to science or something like that. Yeah. Like he didn't even want to kill a being that was made to kill other people and kill him.
Yeah. It's even in the fighting too, like how he fights it. Like he's like, "Hey, big eyes up here," and then like he hits it on the head. Like what I love is like, especially now knowing that like he has a dog and everything, like he literally flicks the thing on the nose. Like that's it. Okay, yeah, he did punch it that one time, but like that one part, like that big moment in the trailer where he flies up and comes back down. That's just kind of ultimately him just flicking it in the nose.
Right.
You get to see his X-ray vision, and he like sees the thing.
Oh yeah.
Like. The T-spheres blow up his guts. You're just like, and he's just so disappointed. He's like, he understands again that it had to like something had to happen, but he just wished that they could have had more time to figure out what we could do. I don't know, just stuff like that. Just like it feels Superman. Like, and it's nice to have Superman back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's been gone for like all these years, ever since the Christopher Reeve movies have been gone, have stopped. And in between time, even in the comics, he died.
Yeah.
Like, and he came back, and it was this weird thing. Like, but it's just nice to have what Superman's supposed to represent in this movie. Like, yeah, I love that it's comic accurate, but just the fact that they're so true to the character is just like perfect. Like, and that this film is just filled with like Easter eggs of just love for comics. Like, the Hall of Justice is in this.
Yeah, it's, oh man.
And it's from the original 60s Super Friends look.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. I'm like, I mean, I love the Watchtower, but I do have an appreciation for the...
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But, there's that, and when you look at the mural, you see all the Justice Society members, and even characters I never even heard about.
Right.
Like, every street in this movie is named after a particular comic book writer. Hell, there's Gotham Highway. Yeah. Like, there's a moment like that. And the fact that Christopher Reeve's son is in this movie. He has a quick cameo.
Yes.
It's just, like, that's just such a sweet thing to do. And also, apparently, Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel's grandkids are in this movie. They're actually in the Daily Planet.
Oh, that's insane. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're in the background. Like, James Gunn put them in the movie because he was just like, well, we're just honoring all eras of Superman. I guess I would have liked something to be... Well, he's friends with Zack Snyder, so you know what?
Yeah, like, so again, like, no shade to Snyder. It's just the people who like Snyder.
Some.
Yeah.
Just,
honestly,
yeah.
I think they're a very, very vocal minority.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because like Snyder is a comic reader, and I think he took on a big task of like trying to mix too many comics. And I think James Gunn mixed a lot of comics together too. But I think it's just a little more refreshing. Like, this is the first time. I couldn't even put a timeline on it, but like, we kind of got into this trend, which is still, I like the trend, but we got into this trend of just like the super flawed hero, and we, instead of like it being like a character flaw, we make it a moral flaw. And I think that we've just relied on the crutch of moral flaw so much that like we've overdone the anti-hero or like the imperfect moral hero. But like, and Superman's morals may not necessarily be like that perfect either. Like he claims that like, yeah, I destroyed a couple of tanks, but like nobody had like major injuries or nobody died. But like at the same time, like his decisions do impact other people. But we as an audience can kind of see where he tries to stand on the moral spectrum. His flaws then become like his internal struggle. Like, how do I view myself? Is what I believe in a lie? Am I even doing the right thing? Because I'm causing more trouble for people now because of like what my real parents actually stand for. Like, it's refreshing to actually just have a character that's not like, it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm just like the good old Boy Scout, but like, it's just like, I want to stand for this, and I don't have to be in the moral gray area in order to be a main character.
Yeah. I've no notes. That's like, you said it. Just fucking nailed it.
It's really refreshing to have. It's like, I think it does better because we're so saturated with character, especially in the superhero genre now, which I do appreciate, because I think the superhero genre is just like good guy wins, bad guy loses, and I kind of want to put the gray area on who is actually the good guy. Like, I mean, that's what I like. That's what I like about the movies. But I think like makes Superman the good guy. Let's stop making him Injustice Superman.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. If we're going into your comparison of like, yeah, we could still have these stories about the gray, which, I mean, we had Thunderbolts. Those are all like killers and horrible people, but the whole movie was about like, it's more than that, and that has a Superman parallel in that movie too. Oh yeah. So like, you can still do that and do it well, but when it's Superman, sometimes you just gotta do it. You just gotta make him the good guy. Yeah. And it's just good to see him back. I don't know. I do have some issues with the film, but they're like not game breaking or movie breaking issues. Like, I think for me, towards the middle of the movie, when we're in the pocket dimension, like, I didn't mind that, but like towards the end when we're in like a proton river and it's going into a black hole, personally, I think the movie got a little too much for me. Yeah. I just was like, Jesus, this is a lot to process here. Yeah. And it's all like, it's a proton river, which a minute ago we were told that it would like dematerialize you or just don't go in there. And Superman's just swimming through it, holding a baby that's green. And Metamorpho is here, who I do like in the film, but it's just like, what the fuck? And
Yeah,
it's
it got a little whimsy.
I think it just got a little too crazy for me.
Oh yeah.
And I don't mind the whimsy of it because I'm like, Jesus, I never thought I'd see this. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't like to say pull things back because I'm like, just go for it. Just if we're doing something different, do something different. But for me personally, I think it just was like, that's the moment of the film where it kind of lost me, where I'm like, there's a lot going on here and I don't have enough time to process it. And
Yeah.
like, it's literally just that moment that I think is like not the best part. Like, I would say that's the worst part of the movie. Like, other negatives I had is more like the side villains. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that the engineers in this movie, like, when they announced that they were going to do an Authority movie, I got to read,
Yeah.
like, a lot of those characters, and I like a lot of those characters, and she's one of them. I think there's room for her to, like, to get to know her, and I think she has the most unique version of nanotech and powers I've ever seen. I think it was a really cool, like, adaptation of that character.
Yeah.
But Ultraman ultimately didn't work for me.
Yeah, Ultraman was kind of just a husk, which
Yeah.
maybe that's what they were going for,
I guess.
but like it's like I wasn't super compelled because here I think okay, and tell me if you agree or not, but like I think Ultraman became less compelling after we saw like his like Hammer of Baravia persona.
Yeah.
I like to me like I'm like oh wait like we're gonna kind of have like a more of like even if he is being like kind of controlled by Luther and like his entire company, like we're still gonna have a little bit of like oh like what is his dynamic like does he have this kind of like deeper thing like because he had this whole like persona and this impression and then like we just dropped that after the second time of just dog walking Superman.
Yeah. And it's really funny because you brought up The Boys earlier, but they kind of just do like black noir humor with him.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's really funny. He's more like comic book black noir.
Yeah, and this is nitpicking.
Uh-huh.
For me, the part of the movie that I dislike the most is it kind of in the same area when Superman is trapped in the pocket dimension, and like, well, it's actually two things, but they're connected. One, I like the idea of Clark Kent being a sports journalist because it keeps him out of trouble for reporting on himself.
He's not.
I don't like the choice that Clark Kent interviews himself because that is the easiest way to expose his identity. And I feel like if like the line where like Luther's just like maybe I'll kill Clark Kent next. Like come on, Lex, you're a super genius too. You didn't put that together that Clark Kent's getting all of these together. So.
I don't mind it because that little line to me understood like okay they get this character. Like,
right.
The whole thing is like Lex Luthor could not possibly believe that Superman, in his head, would lower himself to be a nerdy reporter. Like,
I 100% get that.
I mean, I'll follow you with like him interviewing himself. Like for me, I think that just makes the moment with him being interviewed by Lois be more impactful because it's actually like him having to answer questions that are like hardball questions.
Right.
Other than that, I have no real opinion on that. I think it was just like, well, I mean, he would probably have to do that. But I also don't think he's a sports journalist.
I wouldn't go as far to say like it's an idiot plot thing to where like people aren't putting together the dots. Like Clark Kent's always getting the Superman interview. I do think like because Lois is also the one pointing it out, almost in a way of just like that's really interesting that like you just happen to get this Superman interview right after these events happen.
Yeah.
But like you're telling me none of the other reporters think the same thing, and in the same light now, like this whole like situation with Superman goes on to where like the rest of the message is shown, and he's in the pocket dimension, and all of these things are going on, and he's gone from the Daily Planet for a significant amount of time. That like not even Jimmy is like, where is Clark?
Yeah.
That to me is just like, and this is nitpicking. That to me would like. You're playing dangerous territory if you're trying to keep your identity secret and you're trying to keep people like Lois and your parents safe. Like, and again, I think Lois, I'm glad that she's portrayed this way as like, I think Lois is like smarter than most people around her anyway. Mm-hmm. But I think you don't need to be as smart as Lois in order to figure out like, wait, Clark Kent is Superman. And like, and this is kind of a segue into the hypno glasses, which I kind of have mixed feelings about, because one, I'm just like, oh, we finally get it explained, but on the other hand, I like the glasses being regular glasses because it's like,
Yeah.
one, like Metropolis is supposed to feel like the city life of like always hustling, not really paying attention to who you
I
are.
agree. Yeah.
I think the hypno glasses kind of like make it almost too easy for
Yeah.
Clark to hide.
Yeah.
It makes him less of an actor in the real world.
Yeah, I agree. I think it does take away from like what the performance of like him switching between the two characters or the two versions. But I think what you're saying about like, oh yeah, all these like little plot holes and stuff, like, oh yeah, why wouldn't they think of where's Clark? One, that's in every Superman story.
Yeah.
And two, it does affect this movie in that like you want to see more of the Clark stuff, and when it's not there and they're not addressing it, it does leave this like, oh, okay, that's weird.
Right.
Like, I wish there was more of that. Because it kind of makes it feel like, oh, like, they don't really care about Clark.
Right.
I don't know much about, like, about how journalism, like, itself works. Is, like, if they can just go on assignment for, like, weeks and not have to report back. But, I mean, when you're in a pocket dimension...
Yeah.
And they're trying to text you, I'm like... all this stuff is, like, nitpicky.
Yeah. 100%.
And, like... And, I mean, we're trying to be fair and critical. Again, none of this stuff is game-breaking. Honestly, the Ultraman stuff, which I do think is one of the weaker elements of the film, does set up the possibility of that character becoming Bizarro, so that's cool. And possibly seeing more of that character. Like
that's what I thought they were going... Like, I think that's what they're, like, keeping open. Because, I know in, like, in a cast interview that they kind of brought up a little bit of, like, how Bizarro is created, and I feel like they might have that as like, just if they wanted to do it, they have that in the future.
Yeah, I would like to see Bizarro, and I think like they set up the idea of like, oh yeah, this is like a blank slate. Like he's dumb, he's kind of wild, and also if you think about like where he is and in that like pocket dimension. A lot of cube shapes. It kind of looks like Bizarro World.
Right.
And I was like, okay, that'd be kind of fun. It's just like we go back into the pocket dimension. You just see this guy who's like all sick and pale. And he's got like this makeshift Superman shirt.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that'd be really fun to do. But then again, it's like, that is if they do that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, as it is right now, it's probably one of the weaker elements of the film. And
yeah.
I just kind of want to end it off on like more of a positive note. Like, I'm just excited to see more of the DCU now. Like, this version of it. With the Justice Game and stuff like that, they've talked about Mr. Terrific possibly getting his own show. I mean, Jimmy Olsen getting his own show. I mean, right now confirmed is Lanterns, which will have Guy Gardner in it. So that's going to be 3 Green Lanterns in that show. Clayface is getting his own movie, which we do get a reference to Gotham in this. And then the big one, that's a movie next year, is ultimately a cameo at the end of this film. Supergirl.
Yeah.
Which, the little bit we got of her, I was like, I want to see more of her. She looks fun.
I am so glad. And I texted you this too. I am so glad. It's the same thing I said about Krypto. I'm glad they didn't put a Superman template on just another Kryptonian. I feel like that because Supergirl wasn't as... And I don't know if I blame the Arrowverse for this or what. But I feel like Supergirl's kind of went away from like the kind of characters, like the point is that she is not Superman, but the point is also that like she is supposed to be significant in her own way.
Yeah. Do you know the story they're adapting for this movie?
They took the name of the adaptation off of the project now, but
well they're basing the movie apparently off the comic Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, where they actually explore the idea of like she was raised on a chunk of Krypton and was told to go protect her younger cousin, and because of time, space, sci-fi bullshit, it's been years and she now has no purpose. So seeing her as this person who like when you watch it, it's funny because she's kind of drunk and kind of like a party girl. It's just like, bye bitch, and like leave. Like, first of all, I know a lot of girls like that, and that was really funny to see.
Yeah.
And what I like is like knowing why she does that is because she's trying to like drink away her pain is like a very interesting thing to do with this character. And I mean, Millie Alcock she just looks like Supergirl.
Yeah.
And they released a poster. I mean, this can really tell when we're recording this. They released a poster where she spray painted over "Look Up" saying "Look Out."
Yeah.
I was like,
that's great marketing.
Perfect. And yeah, and like that movie's gonna have Lobo with Jason Momoa, so having a drunk Supergirl and a biker like Lobo Jason Momoa kind of character, I'm like, this is. I'm so excited for Supergirl. Movie. It's gonna be fun to see like a Superman-esque character in space doing weird space adventures. Where like Superman is always about Earth-based stuff. Like where Supergirl, you can go like she's an explorer. Like she just goes out and do stuff. Like they even say like she just goes to red sun planets and gets drunk.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. I mean, yeah, just all that stuff I'm really excited for. Like, I'm excited to see, like, I mean, we get a little bit of it with the Engineer. I'm excited to see what they do with the Authority and really explore the angle of, like, if superheroes were, like, we're going to take the law into our own hand. This is what we're going to do. Like, that would be interesting. Like, really, like this film is, like, showing the pure and the good, whereas that film can actually explore in an interesting way the gray and that element of things. I mean, and then they've also confirmed, like, they're fast-tracking a Wonder Woman and the Batman stuff.
So, okay. Yeah. I want to ask you a question.
I think we might need to save your question for a video if I'm assuming what you're about to ask me.
Yeah, like, how do you feel about, like, the rumors? Because I heard there's rumors that two things may happen with Brave and the Bold, right? Depending on the success, and obviously Superman's been successful at this point.
Yep.
Depending on the success of Superman, that Matt Reeves will leave it open for DCU to kind of integrate his Batman into Brave and the Bold, or there's a second script of Matt Reeves' Batman that's just gonna cleanly do it, and then we'll have a new casting of Batman.
Oh my god, sometime in the future we can actually do a video about this because I have so much to say about this. But for right now, gut instinct, what do I want? I wouldn't mind seeing Robert Pattinson's Batman in this world. Only reason.
Okay, I'm glad we agree on that because, like, I know a lot of people are like hesitant about it because it's so tonally different.
Yes.
But if you listen to what James Gunn is saying about like Clayface and about Supergirl, like he wants these films to feel tonally different in a way, but they can still exist in the same universe. And I think DC's always been like that.
I agree. And that's the thing about Batman comics is like when he's in the Justice League, it's a whole different tone. But when he's actually doing his own ground stuff, it's like noir and gritty. I almost want to say, like, can we put a button on this? Because I would love to just do a video.
Yeah, 100%. I just wanted
on this.
yeah. I wanted to see what you felt about it, but I can finally be a DC fan and not have to fight for my life.
Agreed. I now love both.
Yeah,
like, I'm very excited for Fantastic Four. Like, genuinely.
Oh my gosh.
I'm super excited for that. I'm excited for the next Spider-Man movie, the Daredevil stuff. I am one of the rare people who actually has hope for the Avengers movie.
Oh, I have so much hope because we can do this. It's just a great decade right now. I think we just had to see it through.
Honestly, I do really think like because of the pandemic, like it affected so much more than we really think.
Right.
I'll say this, 2025 has been one of the best years for film I have felt in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, again, for me, like, I can already name, like, my top 3 movies. Sinner, Superman, Thunderbolts. And I'll even put, like, number 4, like, Companion. Just that selection of film, like, is just crazy to me, because they're all, like, it's horror and comic book movies, and both of which have been through a lot. Like, horror movies have always gotten shit, and comic book movies have recently haven't been doing well. Especially DC films. So now that, like, they're both on the comeback, it's just been... Oh, man, this has been a fun year, man. I can't wait to talk about... I mean, I don't know what the last half of the year is going to have in store, but I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, yeah. Before we end off, do you have anything to say? Like, this is in our trilogy. This is the end.
Yeah. I want to, on the record, officially apologize to the character of Superman. Like, this journey, like, also, like, looking at the old movies, like, this journey, I'm like, I think I like this character.
Me too.
Which is, like, it's the craziest. I had character development throughout this whole journey. So, this movie is life-changing. Like, I agree. Again, I haven't felt this way about a superhero movie since Across the Spider-Verse, so it's been insane.
Fair. That's fair. I've been hearing online, like, a lot of women have been saying, like, oh, yeah, this is, like, Barbie for men.
Yeah.
I'm like, that sums it up, like, very well. But no, I genuinely think, like, yeah, no, this film is, like, a positive male role model, which we need. I'm going to be real, we need. We need someone that's just, like, it's okay to be nice and good. You don't have to
Right.
be like this roided out dickhead. That's what I could say, and like, yeah. But yeah, I think that's gonna be the review. Long time coming for this review. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share. I've been your host, Max Kellerhalls, and with me today we had the gracious...
I'll stop, Terrell Franklin.
I hope you have a good day, and bye.